Hello. It's a special edition of the PHNX Bets Daily Podcast presented to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook. Like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star wherever you get your podcast. Johnny Venerable on a Friday afternoon with my PHNX Cardinals better half, Bo Brock, talking a little football gambling on this Friday evening, Bo, as we just saw the conclusion of U of A hosting ASU down in Tucson. U of A, slight favorite, ended up covering. But, we've got a banger of a college football slate on Saturday, headlined by the unbeaten Big Ten matchup, Michigan, Ohio State, and then plenty of NFL action to talk about. What are you excited to see this weekend?
I mean, you don't really have to bet on games to make the action any better this weekend with the one of the best rivalries in all of sports in Michigan versus Ohio State, and then what's on tap and what's on the line as far as the NFL the rest of the season. So, but it spices things up. Just like, betting all the games on Thanksgiving, it just adds a little bit more, and when it means a little bit more, it's a little bit better to watch. Did you get U of A covering that? Because I saw the spread drop to -4. Oh, I saw it at 3.5 too.
So what I saw was the live odds when ASU took the lead late, and I could get Arizona at plus money, but still as a favorite somehow. Then they ended up covering -3 in the end, but perhaps that was earlier in the week. So you saw the line; it was -4 for some folks.
Yeah, I think it closed at -4 in most betting sites, and they won by 3, didn't they? And with the game sealing pick of Trent Bourget, and things got a little chippy. How about that?
How about is that the last time we see Trent Bourget? I think that ought to be a farewell to this.
Whoever the message boards say is going to be announced on Sunday, hopefully he's got a quarterback solution coming.
Do you think we'll get a coach for this squad on Sunday? Is there rumors that they're going to hire somebody
That's
already?
what I'm only in my Cardinals circle, and we might be fish out of the water talking about college sports, but that was the talk around the facility today that there might be an announcement on Sunday, but that's complete, speculation, and we're probably feeding into rumors, just filthy rumors, which are fun, but they hurt people, Johnny.
Yes. Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone. That's my favorite saying here on a Football Friday. You can get live odds right now. Cal playing UCLA tough, down by 3. You can get them plus 75 or plus, get this, Bill Brock, plus 600 for them to win outright right now on DraftKings. That's in the fourth quarter. Plus 600 for Cal to upset UCLA. We know Chip Kelly's a big-time fraud. He'd have no trouble blowing that game. A couple other matchups tonight. Florida plus 10 at Florida State. Give me the SEC team to cover that. But we're going to look ahead to tomorrow and Sunday. But before we do, everybody, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's been a joyous Thanksgiving week. Gambling, making money. I got my dad hooked up on DraftKings. He literally cannot stop. He was on the ultimate heater. He took both dogs in the early games yesterday, the Lions and the Giants to cover. They did. Put down a 20 spot, walked away with over $80. You can win big money on DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code PHNX. All you got to do, place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game. Get $150 in free bets back if they do. Again, $5. Not the spread, the money line. So go find the biggest favorite this weekend, put $5 on the money line, and you're good to go. But that's only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, only when you use the promo code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, Bo Brock, we got a lot to dive into, a lot to dabble in Saturday and Sunday. What do you like?
I like Michigan plus 8. I like them as far as the Wolverines. We've already seen a couple of these great rivalry games, including the duel in the desert, Tucson earlier this afternoon, and ASU played. They hung with them, right? They only lost by 3, despite having only 3 wins on the season. We saw the Egg Bowl last night, which was fantastic between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I don't expect the Wolverines to be one of the few rival games to not show up and cover 8 points. I just think it's going to be too tight with 2 teams that have too much on the line for one to come up, shorter than a touchdown. So plus 8, I think I would take either one of these teams if they were chasing that many points. So I'm gonna give me the points in that matchup between Ohio State and Michigan.
I'm into that. I'm into that hard. I like the rest of your bets too. Washington
Yeah,
-4. Commanders are the hottest team in the NFL
they are.
that no
Yeah.
one's talking about. They are red hot. I love them this weekend as well. Um, Michigan, I'm gonna do you one better. I think Michigan wins outright. Give me the Michigan
Ooh.
Wolverines money line. I think everybody's looking at the Illinois game that they should have lost, that they almost blew. That's a classic looking ahead game. Michigan pounded the shit out of Penn State earlier this year. They are way more physical than Ohio State. Now, Ohio State is built to play from behind. Michigan isn't. So if Michigan falls behind early, that could be all she wrote. But I like Michigan with their big hog mollies to run over Ohio State. Emma, let's take a look at my picks for this weekend. Michigan money line, as I mentioned, my DraftKings pick of the week. I'm doubling down. Houston +14. Dolphins are a good team, but the Dolphins have won a bunch of games by one score. They barely beat the Bears, right? They beat the Bills without Josh Allen. He got nicked up in that game. I'm not buying them as a huge favorite yet. Let me see a couple more outings from Tua. But Houston's doing a quarterback change that usually motivates the team. Visiting Houston to Miami is not a huge flight. I like the Bengals too this weekend, -2.5. Titans are a good team, but again, the Bengals are getting back to Jamar Chase. Too much firepower. I think that's a one-possession game heading into the fourth quarter, and then the Bengals pull away. And then I like the Charger money line. This line, I think, started, Bo, at 4.5. The Chargers were favored. They're still favored. It is now 2.5. The Chargers at Arizona. I would assume, Bo, that's because Kyler Murray is confirmed to play. That number ticks up a couple notches for Arizona. Hell, it may get down to +1.5 come Sunday. Stick with the Chargers. You can still get them at relatively good odds, -145. I want to be wrong, and sometimes you reverse jinx. Like, I'll put $10 on the Chargers. Cardinals win. I win anyway. Hooray. And then the Seahawks -3.5. Now it's up to -4. Playing the Raiders. No Josh Jacobs, potentially. And every time I'm trying to write off the Seahawks team, they come out and play great football. Raiders, it was basically their Super Bowl last week. They beat Nathaniel Hackett and company. I don't see this Raider team winning 2 straight to end the third quarter of the season. So those are my picks this week.
Yeah, and I was in on that Houston Miami game as well. I like the under in that. When you have big, heavy favorites, double-digit point favorites in the game, I think it's like 59% that the under cashes on that, and it's been, as far as NFL betting this year, that's like something you can kind of follow to some cash. So I'm going to take the under in that. I believe it's about 47. I'm taking the total, the total of 47. So, I mean, it's going to be some heavy lifting from Tua and crew in order to get to that number. If Houston and Kyle Allen, the pride of the Desert Mountain, that's going to be under center for the Texans.
That's a great point. If you're into the under, then you're in the over in that game, then you got to convince yourself that Kyle Allen can put up 21 points. I don't think he can. I don't think they're scoring more than 10 to 15.
Yeah, it's going to be some good games on slate. And then I saw a prop that I liked. Looking at James Conner's workload, talking about that Chargers-Cardinals game. James Conner, the over-under, it's 15.5 carries. I'm going to go over. He had 21 against the Rams, the other LA team. I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to want to set and establish the run.
It's a great stat.
There's no Eno Benjamin. He's playing for the Texans. No,
there's
Jonathan
not?
Ward.
Where'd he go?
It's going to come down. It's James Conner and James Conner. No, Keontae Ingram's there, but Keontae Ingram, we haven't seen him get maybe more than 5 carries. So I think James Conner, if the Cardinals do it right and we all pound the table to establish the run, I think that he can easily hit over 15.5 carries.
Especially, too, if the Cardinals somehow get a lead and they want to be conservative and they want to run the football. We haven't seen that. They did that so many times last year where they had a lead and then they had that 8-minute drive in the fourth quarter behind James Conner. Maybe we see a throwback to it. I like that prop. Here are mine for this weekend. I've got 3. Kyler Murray anytime touchdown +170. I like that, approaching +200. Cardinals options offensively are limited. Not sure if you've heard that or not. So I think K1 has a chance to get into the end zone. Chargers are susceptible to mobile quarterbacks. I also like Patrick Mahomes against the dead corpse of the LA Rams to score over 2.5 passing touchdowns. That line, by the way, has anybody seen that? It's 15.5. Kansas City is a favorite. They are going to Wally whip the LA Rams, and Mahomes, he may have 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Now, I like Aaron Rodgers, 225.5 passing yards. He's eclipsed this each of his last 2 games. I'm not buying the Packers is back, but I do think we're going to get not vintage Rodgers down the stretch, but good enough, Rodgers, for them to be competitive. I don't think they win, but I think he gets his. Christian Watson has been very capable, I should say, these last couple games. So we'll see. And plus, garbage time, that's Rodgers' go-to for hitting that number. You can hit this number by liking and subscribing wherever you get your podcasts on a regular basis. We got so much content here at PHNX, but what I need everybody to do now, head on over to gophnx.com, become a diehard, just under $60, and then immediately go dabble at the PHNX merchandise locker for our supremely gifted Black Friday sale. Discounts out the yin yang, 99 cents for a t-shirt, one of my favorites. We've got gear half off, 3/4 off, and then use your discount as a diehard to bring it down even more. There has been no better time to join our family, the PHNX family. Thank you for tuning in today for a special edition, 5 p.m. PHNX Bets Daily. For Bo Brock, I'm Johnny Venerable. We're back on Sunday for everything you need for Cardinals hosting the LA Chargers. See you then.